Hello everybody and welcome to my review of episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. This will be spoiler free, so don't worry about too many spoilers, although if you really don't want anything spoiled, maybe still click off. Okay, so the first thing I will say about this film is it's bad. It's not a good film. The pacing is the most noticeable thing in it. It's awful. It'll give you whiplash, particularly the first hour or so of this film will give you whiplash. The first 4 or 5 minutes of this film go past so quickly that you don't even have time to take any of it in. And there's lots of quite important lore building and explanations and all this sort of stuff in the first few minutes of the film, and it goes past so quickly. It's ridiculous. That's not to mention that the plot of this film makes no goddamn sense at all. And there's so many things in this film that contradict previous films. There's so many things that completely destroy the continuity and lore of all of the other previous films. There's so many things that bring so many plot holes into the previous films. This is not a Star Wars film. It doesn't belong in this saga at all. I'm really trying hard not to give any stuff away in this. But there's moments that, now that they're set up in this film, now that we know that they're possible, makes you question why any of the events in the previous installations would ever have happened. With these few little things in this film, none of the saga would ever have happened because they wouldn't have needed to. All of the huge main plot points would just be, they could just do this. There's new force powers, which you've probably heard about, which do this a lot. And that's a big problem. Also, no spoiler here, but Palpameme obviously is back, and he's not handled well. He's a good old prequel memer, but his return, not explained. This film tries to explain everything, but also explains nothing. That's one of its biggest flaws, honestly. It tries to sort of fix stuff done by The Last Jedi, and it tries to explain that, but it almost makes it worse. It takes plot points that people didn't like from The Last Jedi and just blatantly retcons them. And yeah, if The Last Jedi hadn't have happened, it would be fine. And I'm glad that they have retconned it. But the consistency of their trilogy now is fucking ridiculous. It's absolute garbage. There are a few new good characters. General Pride, he's a good new character. I did like Zori Bliss. There's some good new characters, but that's about it. Everyone else is just meh. There are, of course, a few good moments. The humour in this, although it's still pretty cringy, and there's a lot of very cringy lines, at least some of it did land for me. Some of the 3PO lines did land. Some of it works. Some of it. Which is good. It's not all complete shit like The Last Jedi. I will give it that. But as for it being a better film than The Last Jedi, honestly, it's a toss-up. I don't know which is worse. And I'm being genuinely serious here. I don't know which is worse. So, if you want to have 2 hours and whatever it is, 2.5 hours of your life wasted and spent tearing your hair out at something, yeah, I suggest you go and watch this film. If you want to have a good time and just not think about anything, if you go into this film and just don't think, it's an enjoyable film. If you just go in and just sort of, you're there for the ride, you don't give a fuck, it's fairly enjoyable. But as soon as you start thinking about it, it falls apart. As soon as you start thinking about it. I hate to be one of these sort of channels that shits on Star Wars, because I love Star Wars. But when Star Wars is bad, I need to make them know that it's bad. We want better Star Wars. We aren't content with the shit that we're given. I'm sorry. So If you want to go and see this film, sure, but I would suggest just trying to watch like a cam version or something. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not advocating for illegal activities. But if you can find a way of perhaps seeing it but not, paying to go in and see it, that would be my suggestion. That's what I did. Thanks for listening to this review. I will have my proper, in-depth, long man review discussion coming soon. That will take a long time to edit. I've already filmed it, but it's a couple of hours long. So I'm probably going to split it up into several parts and have it split up, because you won't want to watch like a 3-hour thing about it. You just won't. So I'm going to probably split it up into several parts. Mind you, trimming it down, it probably won't be that long anyway. Thank you for watching. What did you think of The Rise of Skywalker? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe here, and also go and follow me over on my Instagram. We're doing really well over there. We've reached over 20,000 followers. We're doing really well. So yeah, go and follow. And from me, Palpameme 66, may the Force be with you, always.